After 30 years of discipline, I let one person undo it quietly. On March 4th, the system recorded my approval under the wrong authorization tier, and the entry was accepted without a flag. I continued my normal schedule. I woke at the same time. I prepared the same food. I left the residence at the same hour. I arrived at the same building and used the same entrance. My access badge opened the door. The desk assignment remained mine. The workstation loaded my profile. The calendar showed the same recurring blocks. The day proceeded as planned. Work was completed. Reports were submitted. Deadlines were met. Nothing failed. No alarms triggered. No supervisor contacted me. The process continued. I shared space with one other person. The space was jointly leased. The utilities were in both names. The payment schedule was automatic. Rent was withdrawn on the first business day. Electricity was billed monthly. Water was billed quarterly. Internet service renewed each year. All payments cleared. We used the same table at the same times. We used separate devices connected to the same network. We followed separate routines within the same structure. There were no disputes recorded. No complaints were filed. No changes were requested. I managed the primary account. I reconciled statements at the end of each month. I verified balances. I archived documents. I stored copies in 2 locations. The process had been unchanged for years. The first inconsistency appeared as a number. A balance was lower than expected by a small amount. The variance matched no category. It did not exceed tolerance thresholds. I noted it. I did nothing. The next month, the same variance appeared. The amount was different, but within the same range. The withdrawal description used an internal code I did not recognize. The code was valid. It resolved to an approved vendor. I noted it. I did nothing. Weeks passed. The routines repeated. Mornings followed evenings. Weekdays followed weekends. Bills were paid. Work continued. Shared space functioned. I checked access logs for my accounts. My credentials were active. My permissions were unchanged. My role description matched my duties. No alerts were present. Another inconsistency appeared. A document was signed with my name but not my signature. The font matched system defaults. The timestamp fell within business hours. The document was binding. It was accepted by the counterparty. I noted it. I did nothing. Time passed. Months accumulated. The calendar advanced. Holidays were observed. Workload increased and decreased according to schedule. Performance metrics remained within targets. Evaluations were completed automatically. Shared finances continued to process. Transfers occurred. Savings declined at a predictable rate. The rate did not match prior projections. The discrepancy was documented in my notes. No action followed. A new administrative contact was added to one account. The addition was logged. The contact had full permissions. The change required confirmation. The confirmation was recorded as complete. I did not recall completing it. I noted it. I did nothing. Decisions began to appear finalized before I reviewed them. Orders were placed. Renewals were approved. Changes were implemented. All followed correct procedure. All were authorized. My involvement was no longer required for execution. I remained present. I attended required meetings. I submitted required forms. I completed assigned tasks. The systems accepted my inputs. The outputs no longer depended on them. Weeks turned into months. The shared space remained occupied. The lease renewed automatically. The renewal terms changed slightly. The increase was within standard limits. The notice was sent electronically. It was acknowledged. I did not acknowledge it. The record showed my acknowledgement. I noted it. I did nothing. A bank account statement listed me as a secondary holder. The change date preceded the statement by 2 months. The process required a request form. The form was on file. The handwriting was not mine. The signature matched my name. The bank accepted it. I noted it. I did nothing. Procedures continued to function. Systems updated. Records synchronized. Responsibilities were reassigned by default rules. The rules were documented. No exception applied. I continued working. I continued paying bills. I continued occupying the space. Nothing required immediate response. Years passed. The inconsistencies increased in frequency, but not in severity. Each was small. Each was correct within the system. Each reduced my direct control. Access to one service was downgraded. The downgrade aligned with my recorded role. The role description had been updated. The update was approved. I noted it. I did nothing. Another service required approval from the new administrative contact. Requests were processed quickly. Outcomes were correct. I was informed after completion. Financial statements showed cumulative loss. The total amount was significant. The withdrawals were authorized. The authorizations were valid. Recovery was not possible under policy. Legal notices arrived electronically. They referenced agreements already in effect. The agreements were binding. My name appeared as a party. My signature appeared as confirmation. The dates matched system logs. Emotion remains flat. Life continues, reduced. I adjusted routines. I tracked fewer accounts. I managed fewer approvals. I followed established processes. The systems guided actions. My role was defined narrowly. The shared space changed usage patterns. Rooms were reassigned. Storage was reallocated. The inventory list was updated. Items I used were removed. The removals were logged as authorized. No explanations were provided. None were required. Procedures had been followed. I remained functional. I completed work. I maintained schedules. I complied with requirements. I did not escalate. I did not dispute. Financial capacity declined. Savings reached a minimum threshold. Automatic transfers stopped. The system sent notifications they were archived. Legal status changed. One registration expired. Renewal required primary holder action. I was not the primary holder. The expiration was recorded. The routine collapsed quietly, not abruptly, incrementally. Each step followed rules. I adapted. I reduced expenditures. I altered schedules. I relocated tasks. I continued. There was no confrontation. There was no clarification. There were no discussions. The administrative shift completed itself. The final document arrived by automated message. It listed effective dates, reference numbers, and status codes. It confirmed that as of June 17th, my authorization level was inactive. The record showed the change had been pending for 18 months. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want more stories like this.